Hello there guys, it's Professor De here, and today we'll be doing a meta-analysis of May 2022, May 2022 KO Cup tournament. So over here, I have all the deck lists that was played during the KO Cup. So these are the top 4 deck lists, and starting off we have Baro Midrange, which I definitely did not expect to be here. I actually thought that Barrel mid range was just it wasn't good enough to be as good as Palicium, but looks like Secret 27 was able to bring it to the first spot with this deck list here. So he runs 2 Queen of the Baro Worlds and all of the Baro Bug cards, including Dark Baro, which is a pretty normal line. You want your queen for like additional attack and controlling your opponent's board. You want your you want your Gyarados for your Pelfam effect, I guess. And you want your Batara for card draw, and I can't remember the last one's name. Unfortunately, this image here, it's a little bit scuffed. But from here, yeah, it's Plauga. Plauga allows you to free play one of your creatures, so it's a pretty normal lineup. Next is 2 Dark Burrows. Dark Burrows is a card that allows you to sort of thin out your deck, so this card is really, really strong. Okay, it's not overpowered, but it actually helps you a lot in very sticky situations. Next is Inox of Baro. A really strong Baro card because it allows you to it's just really, really well statted, and its additional ability just makes it even better. So yeah, I feel like the ability of when it dies is honestly less powerful than the fact that it can just be a 500/500. So yeah, and next we have Pelfam. Staple card, doesn't need much explanation. Boominator, which is a very interesting card to run. Boominator basically gives a creature extra power, but it can only be done once. Pretty interesting card to see here, but I guess he sort of wanted a little bit more of a mid-range style deck rather than a control deck, so pretty nice. Next we have Kalamask. So Kalamask is a very, very powerful card that basically stops Palicium. It stops their Whirlpool Jetpacks, and yeah, it's just good in general. There's so many different cards like attachments and mostly attachments that really need answers, so Kalamask is really, really good here. Next we have Saberfloof, which is a very interesting card to run here. I personally wouldn't, because Saberfloof doesn't have very good stats, but maybe it did maybe it did win him some games. It's really interesting to see it here, but yeah. Next is Death, pretty staple card in Baro. Well-stated creature, and it can attack for 320 power. Aditrox, very stable card as well. This is the sort of like control side of Baro, so yeah, pretty nice card to see. Next is Time Flash Portal. Time Flash Portal, very, very strong card. It allows you to basically remove a card from your opponent's field at no cost, so very, very strong. Cosmic Treasure is pretty good in Burrow Bugs, because you're most likely gonna like discard a lot of stuff, and you end up like losing a lot of cards. So yeah, Cosmic Treasure is really good in this deck. Next is Desert Quake, which is a pretty strong card. It's not overpowered, but it does allow you to trigger your Burrow Bug effects, and additionally you do get to kill your opponent's creatures, so it's really good against a Palicium matchup. Next is Galaxy Crash, doesn't need much explanation, and Phantom Matter as well. Next is Glasha or Grisha. I unfortunately I can't see the name, but yeah. We have the Baro Moon. Uh, it's a pretty weak moon, I have to say, but if you're against a stall deck, it becomes really, really strong, which is why he decided to run a singleton copy for any stall sort of matchups. Next is Blaze Elixir. Blaze Elixir, really strong card in Baro. I'm surprised he did not go for 2 Blaze Elixirs, but it is sort of understandable because a lot of the other cards are actually are sort of stronger than Blaze Elixir. Personally, I would have cut out like 1 Boominator and replaced it with another Blaze Elixir because you sort of like attack more. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. It's just my take on it. Maybe he had his own personal reasons, but I wouldn't judge his deck list. I mean, he got first place, so. Next is Planetary Field. Really, really strong card. It's basically Beast at a Black Hole, but you stop attacks. Yeah. Next is Beast at a Black Hole, Point Turret, and AAA. So these 3 pretty much seen in many, many decks now. Alright, so in the sideboard, we have the second copy of Kalamask, which is really good. KO, which I don't think will be used very often, but I feel like it's more of an additional like add-on to when you're fighting like Palicium or any sort of big creature decks like combiners. So yeah, I guess KO is a pretty good sideboard card here. One more moon. I don't know if you're able to stack it. I believe you can. So if you're against a stall matchup, you'll probably sideboard this in. Blaze Elixir, so his second copy of Blaze Elixir is in his sideboard if he wants to go for a more aggro sort of play. Next is 2 Erratic Voids for the Palicium matchup, so yeah. Nowadays, a lot of people have been putting in Erratic Void to sort of stop Palicium. Next, for second place, we have Palicium Midrange. I did discuss about this deck, but Diamond's variation, he runs almost the full line of Pelifall creatures. He does not run Greel, which is the card draw one, which is pretty normal. A lot of people don't usually run Greel. Then we got a Crunch Online, pretty normal. Mantle Losses, pretty normal as well. Gobostoris, usually people run 1 or 2. In this case, looks like he decided to go for 2. Gobostoris is really good for like mirror matches, and it's just really good in general. So yeah, the card is really strong. Next we have Mystical Beast of the Deep, which is rarely seen in Palicium Midrange, mostly because it's a 7-star. You're not gonna really be paying for it. Additionally, it does send it to hand, so you can sort of loop your Serpent of the Falls, but it's a pretty decent card. I do see a reason to run it, but usually a lot of people go for a more aggro play. But since I guess Diamond wanted to go for a more mid-range, or like was worried about certain decks like sort of removing all of your win conditions, which are all your big creatures, Mystical Beast of the Deep would be really good for that. Next we have Pelfam. Pelfam, I mean, it's in every deck, almost every deck, but yeah, so yeah, doesn't need much explanation. Pejuru, really good stall card. Duplo drop, staple for Palicium. We do see the Spoons. I mean, Spoons is sort of a staple card now. It's just really, really good card draw, and does thin out your deck very well. So yeah, really good card to run. Cosmic Treasure, for Palicium, you're sort of like playing down your creatures and instantly killing them, so you're sort of losing two cards. No, you're losing 1 card, So yeah, Cosmic Treasure is really good in Palicium. Next is Galaxy Crash, stable card. Whirlpool Jetpack, stable card for Palicium. Phantom Matter, stable card as well. And we see the Planetary Field. Planetary Field is particularly good in Palicium because if your opponent can't attack you and you still have your huge creatures in play, Planetary Field is gonna really help you because you can just clear your opponent's board and they sort of wasted all their resources. Next is Leviathan Crown. It's pretty stable in Palicium right now. Beast of the Black Hole, Point Turret, and AAA as well. So we're seeing these three cards being played a lot. So next we have Mystical Beast of the Deep in the sideboard. I guess this is like I said, for the looping, so he doesn't lose his he doesn't lose a lot of his big creatures that easily. But to add on to that, he decided to run Quadruple Wormhole. I do understand a reason to run it, but I think 2 is a little bit overkill. Next is 2 Erratic Voids for the mirror matchup, and the final AAA in the sideboard if he does need it. So, pretty standard deck list, nothing much else to explain here. Now next is a very, very beautifully crafted deck by Unseenoddish. I absolutely love this deck. I've been playing it ever since I saw this deck list. So this is FDK if you're not familiar with it. Basically Chaos Galaxy has an OTK now, and this deck basically sort of does that. So usually the initial builds that were going around was sort of like stall OTK. So it played a lot like Berti's OTK, where you would stall your opponent, try to draw as many cards as you can, and then hope that you reach all of your cards in time. Unseenoddish threw that entire concept out of the window and said we should just try to do it on turn 1. So his deck has the entire OTK line, Kelamask, Bernard Space Worm, Galactic Gauntlet, and Upside Down Realm. So these 4 cards are the main combo. And yeah, so I won't really go into detail on what the combo actually is. I'll do a video on that another time. But let's take a look at what other cards he ran. So first is Batara. Batara combos well with card consuming Cosmic Creator. So you get to draw a card, and yeah, it's just pretty good. It also combos with Mystical Relic Rainbow Quill. So yeah, really, really good. Next is Thorngabork and Gla. So these 2 cards, they do pair up well with the planet Gaios, but it looks like he decided to go with Baro, which is quite interesting. I never really expected. I didn't expect that at all. So yeah, I'm not sure if he actually ran Baro. Maybe it's wrong. I really don't know. But yeah, I think Gauss would have been a better planet here because you get to kill off your own creatures if your opponent doesn't kill them, and you also get to search out for a card, so you basically draw a card. So yeah, we see Thorngabork, card draw, and Gla. It's sort of a way to search for Thorngabork, but he also did run Gook, which is the card draw tree. So when it's killed, you draw 2 cards at the end of your turn. So really good card draw engine. Phantasmal Spoon. So this is the reason why he's running 2 copies of every single of the OTK cards, because he has cards that sort of discards randomly. So Phantasmal Spoons has sort of the downside of accidentally removing your combo pieces. So really, really good to see 2 of every single combo piece in the deck. Next is Helpful Belt. It's just a really great way to search out your combo pieces. And then we got Star Mosaic as Star Game to allow you to perform your combo on turn 1. We also got Star Path. So Star Path, really great card draw card. and Cosmic Treasure, another good card draw card. And since you're sort of like throwing a lot of things down, Cosmic Treasure is actually really good here. Next, we have 2 Rainbow Quills, although yes, you do have to discard a card. If you have Better on hand, it's a really good combo. And most of the time, if you have like 2 combo pieces of the same copy, you'll most likely want to discard them. So yeah. But it does have the randomly selected sort of effect in there, so it can get kind of bad, but if you know how to play it well, then yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Card consuming Cosmic Creator combos with Betara and gives you enough stars to perform this combo on turn 1. Next is 5-star Fossil. So this is just another copy of Kazzaraks, sort of. Upside down realm, part of the combo. Gook, I explained it earlier. Now Blaze Elixir is a very interesting run, because Blaze Elixir actually allows you to attack a creature that's sort of blocking first, and then attack your opponent directly. So what you attach this to your Kazzaraks, and you basically clear one of your opponent's creatures and go for a straight attack. So a really good card to run here. And it is searchable by Helpful Belt, so perfect card to run. Galactic Gauntlet and 2 AAAs. So I did make some changes to the deck, I'll show it in another video, but yeah, this is a really, really great deck. I think it can be more refined, but yeah. So in the sideboard we have 1 copy of Aplu. I have a feeling he actually ran Gaios, but the planet here is wrong. So yeah. But we got 1 copy of Aplu to search for 1-star creatures. I doubt he sideboarded this in, because Aplu doesn't do anything at all for this deck. So Time Flash Portal, I feel like he should have ran at least 1 copy of this in the main board. But yeah, I guess he had his own decisions. Galaxy Crash, this is in case they're playing a lot of creatures, so you need some some way to get rid of them. Galaxy Crash is the perfect card for that, and it is the original OTK, so yeah. Dark Baro, this allows you to search out your Burrow creature, so it sort of allows you to thin your deck down by 2, because you're removing Betara, and then Betara's effect allows you to draw a card, so you're basically getting 2 cards out of your deck. Next is Gook. So this is, I guess, is sort of an additional copy if he needs additional card draw. I don't really think it's really needed here, but pretty nice to see, I guess. And for the final deck, we have Kazzaraks by Luweg. So I'm not familiar with any of the Kazzaraks, because I never really took the time to take a look at them. Kazzaraks was more of it wasn't a troll deck to me. It was more of a deck that I never thought of being very competitive, but looks like it did make it to the 4th place. Technically 3rd and 4th were sort of tied, but yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with a lot of the Kazurax cards, but you're basically running the full Kazurax line, and I know they have something to do with looping each other or something like that. But yeah, you're running the whole Kazurax line. You're running this scientist, I can't remember his name, and 2 Telecons, because Telecon basically allows you to it basically stays there for so long, because if you notice, you have so many Teklar creatures, there's almost no way you're not gonna keep Telecon there. Pelfam, staple card. We also got Combine Harvester, which is a staple card for any combiner deck. We got 1 copy of the Mystic Blob, which is because you do want to use your Kazzarax abilities, so yeah, one Mystic block is definitely enough. Next is two Phantasmal Spoons, pretty normal. We also got Rewind Wormhole, which is quite interesting. Like I said, I don't know what this deck's game plan was, but yeah. Next is Galaxy Crash, Telepathic Touch, which allows you to search for your combiners. Usually I see two being run, but it looks like he decided to go for one since it does have a pretty bad downside to it of not being able to play that combiner during that turn. We also got Telecon's Helm, which is a very, very strong card, especially in a combiner deck, because you can bring back your combiner for no cost. It's sort of a better Phantom Matter. So, and speaking of Phantom Matter, he did run Phantom Matter in this deck as well. He did run one KO, which I guess it's sort of fair because Kazzaraks don't really have good stats anyway. So KO here is actually pretty nice. For Sail Sign is also really nice because you're always like sort of overflowing on stars. We also got Planetary Field. It's really a staple card right now. So yeah. Beast in the Black Hole and Point Turret, and looks like he didn't run AAA. So yeah. So in the sideboard, he has some Attachment Hate, which is Kaleidoscope Aureus. He has Attack Hate because of Orbov. Pretty interesting to see Orbov in this sideboard, but yeah. I guess it's pretty okay to run. KO. I'm assuming this is mostly for Palicium matchup, or any big creature matchup. And two Erratic Voids, because he sort of needs it. So yeah. So these are the top 4 decks, and unfortunately I couldn't get this video out like before. Space Cup 3 is coming out, and the first place will get a $35 prize, and the second place will get a $15 prize. So if you haven't joined, do join Space Cup 3, and yeah, hope to see you guys in there. You only have less than 12 hours to submit your deck list, so unfortunately not that much time for you guys to sort of plan and stuff. I was hoping to do this video way before, but I have a lot of life stuff that I need to do. So yeah, I'll do another update video at a later time. But yeah, this is the take for the meta of Chaos Galaxy in May 2022. We'll see after Space Cup whether the meta has shifted, or we'll see like the more refined versions of some of these decks. So yeah, this will be really interesting, and yeah, with that I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.